Okay, so here is 14 out of 19 of my quilts that I have done all by hand pieced, hand quilted. I started when I was 15. I was inspired by a couple quilts I was given, and I decided I wanted to make a quilt. So I started with this one right over here. Simple. I like the birds and flowers on this fabric, and so I decided to just do simple squares, put in some embroidered blocks, and then I did hand quilting on it. And since this is my first quilt, the hand quilting wasn't exactly all even and everything, but I was really happy with it. And while I was making this quilt, I decided I wanted to become a professional quilter. So then I continued making quilts. This is my second quilt I made. I designed this one. I used plaid shirts for this, upcycled. And I used the gray fabric I had left over from these blocks. So I used that for leftovers. So this is like mostly recycled. I used like a woven blanket I found. It's pretty thick. I really like how soft and drapey it is. And then the rest of my quilts here aren't all laid out in order of how I made them, but this was my sixth quilt. I was really excited about this one because I really liked how I got my quilting so nice and even here. My stitches came out really even. I was really excited. I liked how contrasting it is. And I drew this little alligator and embroidered him on. I thought he was real cute. I had a lot of fun piecing this one. And this is a recycled quilt too. I like using a lot of recycled fabric to make my quilts. And so I used two different shirts for this and a skirt. The gray was a skirt. And then I used a fleece backing for it, so it's real soft. And I was originally planning on quilting it. But then my mom recommended that she thought it'd maybe look real nice being tied, so I decided to do that. And I think it turned out real nice. I like how my points came together well and everything. And green, white, and gray. I don't usually do quilts without either blue or pink in them, but I wanted to do a quilt for my mom, and so I let her pick out the design, pick out the color choices, and so green, gray, and white is what she picked. I had a lot of fun doing this, and it was the first quilt I actually did on a quilting hoop, or a quilting frame, instead of using a quilting hoop for it. And I decided I think I like doing it on a hoop better because it's easier to, you can kind of quilt any direction without having to move your chair around and stuff. So that was a learning experience. I liked how well everything came together on this one. I believe this took about 80 hours, so it was a little bit quicker of a quilt. A lot of fun. And this feathered star quilt here, I had a lot of troubles with, I didn't know how to draft a pattern for a feathered star. So I found a video, someone showing how to do it. I don't remember who it was, but I'll try to put it in the comments. Find the video and link to it. And so this was a very different learning curve because of following a pattern versus making my own. And I was really happy with how it turned out. I was wanting it to be larger, but since I didn't know how to draft it, I just did it the same size as the tutorial said. and then I put some borders on it and did quilting going straight out. I thought it complemented it well. This is a goose tracks quilt. It's an old traditional quilt pattern. And this is the same design. They are the same size. This I had a lot of fun with. I had got 2 pink fabrics from a neighbor to be getting rid of. And this is a recycled pillowcase. So I had a lot of fun with incorporating some recycled fabric with it. And this is actually a very simple quilt, but it is my most recent quilt. This is my 19th quilt I have made. And I got the chicken fabric from a quilt guild that they're giving out. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to figure out something to do with it. So I did simple squares. I drew this chicken, the eggs on the nest. I thought that would complement well with the chicken fabric. And I drew these little chicken footprints going all the way around the border. I thought that was real cute. I like the finishing border I done on it. The binding. And this pony quilt here has really gotten a lot of compliments on how cute it is and everything. I had a lot of fun drafting this pattern and putting it together. I bought most of the fabric for this, but the used recycled fabric is this here, the shirt, and this was a dress, and this was also a shirt. The Green Hills were a shirt. This I did a lot of quilting on, dense quilting. I put little flowers in here. This one took me 100 hours and 5 minutes to complete, and it won 2nd place at our county fair. I was really happy. And this quilt was my 18th quilt I made. It took a lot of time. It took about like 170 hours. I'd have to look to be exact on the time. This is all new fabric. I thought picked out the batiks. I thought the blue and purple really went well together. And doing every other one, reversing the wings to each color. And I had a little bit of a hard time getting my wings to match up because it's a batik. So trying to get each wing to be kind of symmetrical to each other was a challenge. I think that was the most challenging thing about this quilt. I really enjoyed hand needle turning it all over. And I really like doing that little quilting in the border for it. And I really like how on the back the stitches show up so well. I really like that. I thought with choosing a black border or black backing that it would really show up well. So I was really happy with how this one turned out. So this is my first video, and I'm planning on showing some more of my quilts. I have a quilt out of the country out of the state right now off at a quilt show. Been traveling the country entered in different quilt shows. So I'll do a video about that one. And I'm planning on doing some videos on showing people how to make quilts, how to do different patterns, and also how to draft their own patterns, how to enlarge quilt blocks or shrink them. So subscribe to see more. Have a great day.